This is a free workshop series we are doing right now, just to kind of, make it accessible to all the business owners, have another way to connect, give women a space to share their expertise and their experience as a business owner. So if anybody is interested in doing some kind of virtual workshop, I'm very open to ideas. So definitely contact me later. And today we have Irina. She is in New York, but I met her actually in Fort Lauderdale, and I really love how we met. I went to a networking event at an organization called Biz to Biz.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
huge. It's been around for like 30 years. And I saw her in this beautiful gold dress. She was a vendor, and I kept thinking, like, I need to go speak to her. I need to go meet her. And the networking event went on, and then I was with somebody and we had to leave, and I was like, oh, I didn't get to meet her. And somehow we connected or we're already connected on Instagram. I think she had, Irina, if you remember, I can't remember. I think Irina had like reached out to me beforehand on
Yeah.
Instagram before we had even met.
Mhm.
And then we went back and reconnected after that event about her coming to be a vendor at one of our networking events. And as we started talking, I forget exactly how it happened, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, were you the girl in the gold dress at the networking event?" And it was so cool because I was like, what fate, like, to actually, I saw her before. I felt like connected to her. I wanted to meet her. It was really sad that I didn't get to. And in fact, I'd already met her virtually and then ended up right after that meeting her in person. So I thought that was cool. But that just shows you, I mean, like, when it's meant to be a partnership, and hey, look at that. When a partnership is meant to happen, it happens. And so that's my cool story. But I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Irina so she can start giving you all the information. We do have a copy of the workbook she's going to be going through. The link is in the chat. So if anybody wants to download that PDF, keep it for later, go through it with us as we're doing this workshop, then you are welcome to do so.
Can
And
you
that,
resend it in the chat? I think I joined after, so I don't see it.
oh, is that how that works?
I
See,
think so.
Yes, you have to do it. The chat doesn't save for some reason.
oh, see, that's why I'm doing these too, so I can learn all the ins and
Yes.
outs. And I'm gonna send the workbook link now to everyone that's here, and then at the end, I will reshare it so that anyone that comes in afterwards can have that link. And then I will be sending out a recap email to everyone in the next day or so once I get this up on YouTube. So you have the link to watch the workshop over, and I will send that workbook to you. So without any further ado, I will hand it over to Irina.
Thank you, Summer, for such an amazing introduction as well, and like bringing up all the good memories. Yes, it was so cute how we met. And that's actually part of the partnerships as well, because that's how I working with partnerships. And I'm a VP of Alliances at women's organizations, and I'm also a jewelry designer. I'm a founder of Femininity in Business. And that's how the part of femininity in business is creating partnerships and collaboration. And today I want to go with the with the Miss Boss formula on how to work on partnerships. And Miss Boss stands for Miss is the inner side and the boss is the outside world. That's what we do. The inner side is for our mindset, because most of the time when I work with women business owners, and I do that a lot, because I actually how did I even start? I started many years ago doing jewelry, and then I just evolved with coaching, with strategies, business development stuff, up, up to now. It's been so many years. How I started before, I was so afraid to even ask someone with any help, to do anything. I had so many different ideas, but I was afraid to ask. And then as I was evolving and growing, I had bigger goals. I was like, okay, I do need to partner. So I started learning how to partner, how to do things. But also, of course, it wasn't like a beautiful path. because partnerships, it takes two people to work with you, and it takes you, it takes another person, and of course, it's a live and learn process. And with failures, with successes, with everything that I've been through, it just brought me to this amazing space right now when I can connect different people. I can create partnerships, alliances with women's organizations, with business owners. And this is such a beautiful thing to me. And I think the best thing out of it, what I get is I love to see the fruition of my connections when I help people to connect. And then I see them doing events together, I see them doing business together. And it's like, I think I see people nodding. So, yes, it's how when you succeed, it's one way. It's like, yes, I made it. I'm cool. You know, you love it. It's a very nice feeling. But when you see someone else, when you connected, you were a little like you were a part of it, you were beginning of it, how it actually happened. It's like it's another feeling of it. And that's why one of the ways how and why I actually enjoy working with partnerships, creating partnerships, and helping people with partnerships through consultation and programs. And I help people also, business owners, to partner. So I want to know if you can share actually where you are right now with partnerships. If you already partner with people, do you looking for partner? What are your mindset about partnerships? Anything that you can share, maybe a couple of minutes, because we don't we have a little time. So I just want to know so I can tailor to you and maybe add more details on that and things like that. Who would like to start?
I guess I can start.
Okay.
So, this weekend was actually 1 year of being in business. So I thank you. So over the past year, I've really learned the power of partnerships. I've always had that abundance mindset, and I believe that collaboration really helps everyone. So I have recently, thank you, started to dive more into collaborations and partnering with other yoga teachers, other groups, and I've seen that it really just helps everyone involved. It allows us to bring both of our energies together and we reach a wider audience. So it's something that I've started to really get more into.
Awesome. Amazing. Okay. Summer, would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. So Rose and Hustle, and I guess I didn't really talk much about that to begin with, but I am the owner of Rose and Hustle. It is a local community for women in business. Um, and a lot of what we do is based on partnerships and collaboration. We do a lot of workshops where we have other people take part, and we have things like this where we are collaborating and sharing our expertise and things like that. And it's strategic in so many ways. It is also, from a mental health perspective, it is very supportive, and to know that you're not carrying something by yourself, you've got somebody else involved with it. And I think, to kind of put it in a nutshell, the hardest thing for me getting started as a business owner was knowing how to ask for help. And I just wouldn't. I just wanted to do everything by myself. And it took a long time for me to realize that there was a way to ask for help and get people involved where you could be mutually beneficial. And I think that's where the collaborations started happening. And that's where I started to notice more growth in my business, but also just I felt better and less stressed. So that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, Summer, you are amazing with partnerships too. So that's a good way to share as well. Pat, are you here? Would you like to share? Thank you for joining us today. Okay, maybe not. We don't have to all share, so it's okay.
Sorry, I'm multitasking because I'm at
Oh,
work.
it's okay. Yes. Hi.
Hi, what's up? How you doing? I'm multitasking. I work with the mentally
Yes.
challenged, so I'm trying to help them get services from the state. So it's kind of hectic. Collaboration. Wow. Hi, I'm Patty. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Patty. Sorry that my camera is shut off, but I'm working on, a lot of HIPAA stuff. But I run. I'm the owner of True Serenity Tea Company, a tea company. Um, Collaboration. I guess I am well known for collaboration because I have done collaborations with so many different companies and different agencies since 2017. Since my tea business had basically was established, I work with Black Enterprise. I worked with um, uh, PR agencies. I work with um, ooh, wow! I've done so many collaborations. I can't. My media page is, my list is really long, but I do believe in collaborating. And I think collaborating is equals into great partnerships, great relationships. You can always go back to them. You treat them like family. It's not about just collaborating and it's okay. We partner, we made some money, we keep going. It's about basically having that uh, relationship, almost like I said, almost like family. You know that you want to see both wins, both companies win. So if I'm collaborating with you, I want to see you win just as much as you want to see me win. And that's how we uplift one another. So, yeah.
Yes, awesome. So I see we have a nice group of people who already collaborating and partnering. So actually, do we have the slides up somewhere? And this is another way today. It's a perfect example how my computer didn't want to download Zoom. So Summer will be helping me today. And this is another way asking for help, not going crazy, stressing out. Because sometimes, especially with technology, things happen. And this is one of the ways how I work with femininity in business. Because femininity, it's our mindfulness, it's our inner world. Business is business. We still have to do things. We still have to run things. The world doesn't revolve around us, but we revolve the world around us actually with our energy. So, okay, do I have? Yes, we can go to the second page where how I see femininity in business and partnerships collaborations. It's actually all about partnerships. It's about actual innovation, because a lot of times when we open a business, we want to do, of course, we open business with our goals, with our ambitions, and then to grow bigger and going higher, it always takes collaborations, because this is how we can go, of course, like, steadily, surely, but collaborations, as Rachel also mentioned, that it's faster to grow and also expand your visibility and the audiences, and faster, especially when you're in business 1 year and you already use collaboration. This is amazing. And what happens also when we collaborate with people, because there happens two different energies, at least two different energies come together, and it happens to innovations. And this is the world, especially right now. I am all about innovations and things like that. I create different concepts, and that's what I love doing. And that's how we become unique. And this actually how we stand out. I'm a Leo, so I love to stand out, but because right now it's the world too, it's for us to be memorable. If we cannot just be 10 other people, so it's very cool to do something innovative, something collaborative, but we have to think about alignment as well, because how I mentioned before, just because we want to partner with someone, just because of, I don't know, it's finances involved or something like that, if the alignment is not there, it's going to be a disaster for both parties. You have to know your values, and we're going to go later today what to check on, how to see what you are and who you are, and we're going to work on that as well, because business is business, but also we all human beings running the business. There is no robots, even though there is a lot of technology, because now I also work with tech and AI, or we develop an app for people, communities, but who is developing the app and who is this app for? It's all about people. And right now, like never before, our alignment, our authenticity is more important than it used to be, even, because right now it's the way to stand out. Right now it's the time to shine. So, and I'm also done with the hustle culture, because hustling, um, It's fine. Whoever I did that as well. I almost killed myself. So that's why I created femininity in business concept, where we find different ways how to build our businesses, how to make it easier for ourselves. Because life is one. Why to choose to hustle? Why to choose to make it harder for ourselves when there are different ways? One of the ways is partnerships and collaborations. And of course, innovation, but it comes kind of hand in hand together when it happens. So we can go to the next slide. And on the next slide, you will see this is I'm so proud of this flower. I love flowers. So what happens is, uh, and that's how I work a lot with mindset. Even when you go to collaborations, we work on mindset as well. And even if you're already done collaboration, doesn't matter how successful you are right now, sure, there's always something you're looking forward to, like the next level, the next step you want to be at. Because I think when you stop and like, okay, I've achieved everything, it's kind of sad to me. Because there is always this drive, the fire that brings you to the next level. But what happens when we, especially as women, a lot of times we only focus on actions and we think about the results, but we forget about our energy, about inner drive, about our mindset, about what drives us actually from the inside. And these are actually our roots, like the roots of the flower. If you cut off the roots from the flower, how long is it going to stay? Especially if we women, we know flowers don't stay that long. Yes, they bloom a little bit in the water, but then they die and dry very quickly. And that's what happens to people as well. I'm sure you know about burnout. Have you heard of it? Have you experienced it? Yes, I did that too. So that's how doesn't matter what we do, we work and care about ourselves first. Yes, burnout is real for sure. And it also comes with partnerships. And that's how I put alignment in partnerships. It's one of the first things that we need to think first. Not only about the business, but alignment, our values. Who do I want to partner with? How do I want my partnerships to look like? So that's what we're going to work today. So then on the next slide, you will see, and that's what I see also in women, our limiting beliefs and what actually stops a lot of women. You might find and recognize yourself a little bit. You might have something different. There is something, these thoughts, like this negative talk. Like, if you already, what sometimes what I see, we are okay with certain collaborations and partnerships. A lot, usually it's sometimes like when we feel like we're on the same kind of level, or when we feel there is a comfort level in anything, and we're okay talking to these people. We okay, we know what we can bring to them, what value we have for these collaborations and partnerships. But a lot of times, uh, I want you to think about maybe one or two partnerships that you're thinking, but you're so afraid to reach out to them. You maybe don't know what value you can bring to them, and you're sitting there like, no, I'm just gonna do these little things. Because again, like anything else, partnerships could be there are different levels and there are different goals as well. And we're gonna talk about the goals. But the third thing that happens and where it usually starts and stops, it's inside with our negative thoughts, with our negative self-talk, with all these fears and beliefs. What they're gonna talk, say or think about me? Do I look desperate? What do I even bring? Am I even worthy to even ask to work with these people, to partner with these people? And you can share it in the chat. You can actually, if you have one thing right now, actually raise your hand if you're already thinking about the belief that you have, something triggered in you that you're already like, okay, yes, I do actually have it. Raise your hand. Okay. Yes. So I want you to do, I put 3 most common beliefs that stops women. It's about looking desperate. It's about that you have to do a lot of work. That happened to me too. Oh my God. How many times I partnered and then I had to do a lot of stuff myself. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with partnerships. because again, there was no clarity, and I'm also like, who else is gonna do that? I'm gonna do it. I'm invested that, so I'm just gonna do it. So, and that's what happens when a lot of people might try something, but then it didn't work out the way they wanted, so they don't want to do it again. And another thing is like the worthiness, the readiness. Am I ready for these big brands? Am I ready to work with certain people who are already established? And I'm and the funny part is that it's kind of a lens of we thinking about ourselves and another person, which sometimes it's not even about being established, being anything else, because we all have our values and our worth and our skills that we can bring to the table that another person don't have. Like some brands might not have, but you have it. But because we kind of underestimate and undervalue ourselves, we stop ourselves from doing that. And on the next slide, I put some, if you print it out, and this workbook, and you can actually use it. You can do it today. You can do in a year. You can do it in 3, 5 years, because as long as, from my personal experience, from my clients' experience, it happens all the time. You grow, you get to the point, you're like, okay, everything is cool, I'm good. And then you get excited to the next level and something else comes up. And that's how you know that you're ready for the next level. And the next level comes only with something that it's like it's a growth thing. So what you can do is there are boxes that you can write down, or you can even do it in your notebook when you have time. Challenge that thought. Look at yourself from a different perspective, like kind of a sit down, place yourself in your mind in front of you, and actually see without any judgment. How are you going to challenge that thought that you were thinking actually that, maybe you're not worthy, maybe you're afraid to reach out to someone? Think about that and challenge that thought with all the logical explanation. It could be illogical, but I'm definitely sure you will find like 10 reasons why it's actually a lie. Because if a lot of stuff comes from our experience that something didn't work out, something we had, but in reality, you grew so much. Yes, it is the mindset. You grew so much that, yes, maybe something didn't work out a year ago, but within a year, you grew so much. You got so many different skills. And now you're ready to approach the same thing, the same event, maybe the same partnership, but with the different mindset, with different skills, with different approach completely. So it's kind of you, but it's different you. Any questions here? Any thoughts? If not, we could.
I don't,
Yes.
Irene. Okay, the
Yes.
only thing that I would say that with partnerships, and it is scary, and you're right. You're doing great with that, letting us know that, because it all comes down to the mindset and also the imposter syndrome. I had imposter syndrome for the longest time. Sometimes I do, still do, but I have to kick myself and say, who are you? You gotta speak it. But that imposter syndrome can sometimes hinder us. That plays along with fear from that opportunity of great partnership, because you think you're not good enough to
Mm-hmm.
be part of that, to work with that company and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Thank you
sad.
for sharing that. Yes,
Mhm.
because and that's how I also do coaching, and that's how with my clients, a lot of times before we go into the partnerships, we do work on mindset, and a lot of times it's the self-worth, because it doesn't matter what you do, everything comes to self-worth. It doesn't matter in your business, in your personal relationships, in your romantic life, anywhere, it all comes down to that. So that's how first, and that everything I do, I start with mindset, because this is the biggest block all the time. Because you can do steps, you can reach out to people, you can do a lot of stuff. And I know so many people that they do reach out, they do a lot of work, they do have a lot of connections, but nothing work out for them because they don't do the right steps. They don't have the right communications. They don't have the right ideas in a way that how to communicate it and approach that so it works out very well for them. Just because of the blocks, it's like it's always not 100%. They're not fully there in the relationships and the partnerships. They're like tippy toppy, you know. It's like, and then it doesn't work out, and then it's like I'm trying, but you know, it's like that kind of feeling. But it also comes to that a lot of actions, no results. And that's the hustle culture, the hard working. You know, when you work hard, I prefer to say work smart. Your hard work never bring you to any kind of results, the good results that you really want. Even if it brings you, then will you have the energy and time to enjoy it? Very questionable, because you'll be like tired, over burnout, or whatever it is. So when I also added in the next page at the workshop is what type are you? If you already here or not, maybe you already done, but maybe not. Maybe there is someone who is watching us online after we do our workshop. Maybe you will recognize yourself, because there's the lone wolf that I think a lot of people start like that. I'm gonna do myself. I'm gonna do it all. I am afraid to ask. I'm afraid, you know, I'm gonna do it. And then it's a lot of stuff comes from the fear, beliefs, and everything. And sometimes you can just try it and see. Then, as long as you try, and then once you know it doesn't work, you move on. You know, that's the best thing. You test, you try, you test, and then you move on to the next chapter. Then we have the overgiver, which I had all three of them. And I think everybody kind of who partner at some point can recognize yourself that in that way, or it comes up sometimes in certain partnerships, in certain relationships, at certain point of life. The overgiver, when you do a lot, but you don't ask anything. You think you're supposed to do everything, and then you don't ask for anything, and then again you get tired and you burn out, and again that partnership is not going to work. And we have the hidden job, that you also sit like quiet and smart, you don't share anything, and then it's time to share. It's time to say again your worth, that you have something to bring to this world. So to do this exercise, I also invite you to review it once in a while. It could be partnership to partnership, because partnerships, again, it takes two to tango. And if, for example, I'm working with Summer, I partner with Summer, we trigger certain qualities in each other. And then if I partner with Rachel, there's something else can come up. If I partner with Pat, then something completely different will come up. And why it happens? Because you are all three different people, and I'm also different person. Our synergy will bring out completely different skills and different qualities in us. And that's how creating and working on partnerships, specifically, it's also kind of a one-on-one work. What I can bring to this partnership, what I can bring to this partnership. How does this work for me? How do I feel in this partnership? How I can work and make this better? And that's how this exercise also, you can do it. If you already have a partnership right now, and you feel like you are the overgiver in the partnership, or you have the partnership, but you're actually not, you're thinking that you cannot, maybe there is because when it comes to, for example, I want to talk about the hidden gem. A lot of times we don't recognize some gems in us. Sometimes we think, oh yes, like for example, with yoga, yes, I do yoga. This is the best part of me. Like, you know, I'm contributing the yoga to the partnership, let's say. But maybe you have a different part of you that you are not even thinking, you are not even bringing to the table, to the relationships in this partnership, which actually could bring it to a completely different level. It could actually open so many other doors for you, for the partnerships, and for the businesses. So that's how it's very important to review when and how, with every partnerships, with every approach, with every person that I'm working with, and kind of come back and what I can do about it. Because I am all about growth mindset. not like definitely not being like, oh, this doesn't work. Sometimes, yes, certain things don't work and that's okay. But sometimes we just need a little twist, change a little bit approach in our partnerships, in our communication a lot of times, be maybe more clear, be more creative sometimes, and bring this different parts of our sides because it's a growth. Partnerships is always growth. It's like a speed up rapid growth for individuals. So you can do this exercise as well anytime you think or you trying to approach or maybe like revamp your whole partnership strategy right now. Who am I right now? Or you can do it partnership to partnership. Do you have any questions on this side right now? Or maybe comments? If not, that's good. You can also um, reach out to me because I know sometimes in the moment you might think everything is clear. When you start doing exercises, you can come up with some questions, and that's okay. You can also always reach out to me and I will explain it to you later. So with that mindset side, we can move on to the next slide, and next step is our goals and partnerships. There are many different goals in business partnerships, but I want to talk about this specific three ones because they are most common ones, and they are more like the fundamentals, how we can actually start with the partnerships. So number one is expand and reach visibility. Everybody every business is people. You cannot do business without people. I have an experience when we used to actually I used to had a client school, so we would do partnerships in community to bring children to the school. It was a private school, amazing program. So sometimes when we just started and the person wasn't very patient, because sometimes partnership is not like, you need to take sometimes time to create the relationships, because partnerships is the relationships. So she would use, where is the body? Where are the bodies? I need people because every business is people. We cannot, and that's why everything is alignment, everything is mindset and energy, because it's all about people. And a lot of partnerships we build, we bring visibility. And that's how this is also one of the ways to do workshops, to collaborate with different people, do partnerships, to expand visibility to different audiences. How we do that, a lot of times we could do it in a way that is similar audience or it's a similar product. What I love to do, it's also to collaborate with people with different products, different services, but with the same target audience. Because then it's, I just love to get to the point where we as human beings, we have so many different interests and sides of us. And that's how, like, when you collaborate with different people, you kind of complement things on from different sides and the perspective and lifestyles. Because like, for example, when I have also jewelry, fashion plus psychology jewelry, which is, it's psychology, it's mindset, but also it's fashion. Because again, when I work with business owners, we need to professional, to stand out, especially it doesn't actually matter in New York, especially because it's so many people in Fort Lauderdale. Also, it's very booming. There's so many entrepreneurs there. But when you stand out, it catches your eyes a lot of, and this is how actually happens too with Summer. When I see you also, when I reached out to you, first of all, of course, the page looked beautiful as well. And then when I saw Rosanna Hustle on your name tag, it was like this. You also looked amazing. It just catches the eyes. And someone also mentioned the gold dress and everything. This is how a lot of times it's like, you complement in different ways. And with partnerships also, visibility, the looks too, and how you create this synergy, bringing different things to the table to different people and businesses. Another way is generate more leads and sales. That's what the business is. But a lot of times, this is more, I put it in the way that it grows, because partnerships creates relationships again. And that's how we create relationships with people. A lot of times what happens, we get visibility first into different communities. Then when people already know you, people trust you, they already see you. And then you go to the next level to create business, like get leads and sales. And that's another type of partnerships where you can create different offers. You can create workshop together. It could be paid workshop. It could be so many different ways that we can also discuss a little later there. But this is how you can also create paid ones that already makes money. What I love to do is I love to partner with events. It's very easy to monetize events, and it could be online, could be in person, but this is how like it's very easy, and it's very um, valuable to people because you can connect. It's like it's right there. You bring the value and you show, and everybody meets and get to know you, and like all the parties there. And then another way, it's the third goal is bringing the authority and credibility. What happens is because there are so many people right now doing many different things, but even when I choose partnerships, I want to see some authorities and credibility in people, because so many, it happens to me too. You think it would be amazing, you put a lot of time, and then it doesn't go through. And then because that didn't go through, your name is affected as well. That's why I'm very careful who I'm partnering with, what I'm doing, and how I'm doing things. It's always, again, comes to my values and my alignment. Sometimes I better say no, even if it's especially if it's like sales and things like that. I better say no if I don't trust the person, if I don't see, if there is something that I don't trust. And that's how like we as business owners, because people trust us as authorities as well. When I come, like if my clients come to me as a coach, as a strategist, they trust me. If I go to Rachel to do yoga, I trust you with my health, and if I see, if for example, sometimes I see like a wellness brands partner with some alcohol, let's say, because I have nothing against, but if you sometimes, if you so strong on wellness and like health and things like that, why it doesn't make sense to partner with alcohol brands, because alcohol, like cigarettes and like vapes and things like that, some it has to be alignment, and the values has to align as well in every partnership we do. So that's how the credibility, the authority we build with those. And also we can partner with different organizations. Like I'm a VP of Alliances at a National Women's Organization where I create also and work with partnerships with other organizations in New York. And that's how it is another way you can create and bring more weight to your name as well. Because it is what it is. Again, it's easier to do with partnerships. It's easier to create, to work with brands that are already established. But of course, you do the work, and I mean, of course, you're already doing the work. You're already doing everything that it takes to do. It's easier sometimes with the network, with the people already, to partner with them. And not forgetting that you also creating your name, you also providing good services to your clients. And of course, sometimes mistakes happen, but it's how we work with them, how we approach them, and our attitude. Because we all, again, human beings. I'm not about being perfect. Things happen. And it's how we approach them, how we work with them. So these are at least the 3 goals of partnerships. And then I want you to go to the next page, and there is a checklist. So if I want you to think about, maybe we could do, if we have a couple of people, or maybe one person, actually, let's do maybe one who wants to do the checklist. It's about defining the partnership right now. What partnership would you like to have right now? What values, like, no, actually, the goals. Are you looking for increased visibility? Are you looking for sales? Are you looking for credibility? What are you looking for right now? And now we have, what are you bringing? What are your skills? This is more about when you do these exercises, especially with the skills, and the values, your self-worth will go up. Because when you sit down and just write, you will see with your eyes, and a lot of stuff will come up as well. Just also when you do these exercises, again, you can do it once in a while when you're ready to partner, or you can do it for each partnership that you are thinking. Because you can do different partnerships at the same time, but with different goals. And to different partnership, you bring completely different skill sets. You bring completely different value. For some partnerships, it could be you are doing with your skills. Some partnerships you do with your audience. Some of them, like maybe the monetary, like the business, the sales is there, or maybe you're just doing like some services. Like for example, some of the partnerships I have, like I connect people, and that's also partnership. Like I am the connector there because I can connect the venues, I can connect the vendors, the brands, the communities. I am also a partner, but I'm a completely different partner. So there are so many different ways how we can partner. So when you write those, it just will show you how actually cool you are, especially if you have the self-worth. Self-worth could be, it's a very unstable thing a lot of times. It's kind of stable, but it always room to grow, kind of. Especially when you think about certain things that we want to do, like Pat mentioned also about imposter syndrome. As more we grow, as more we have, as more it's like, oh my God, I'm still not there yet. But look behind and see how much you already accomplished and achieved. How many skills, how many projects you already accomplished, how much you already have, actually, how much you can actually offer. So who would like to do maybe just for one partnership, one person? Rachel, would you like to go?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. So I think right now my partnership goals are to find more clients and boost visibility,
Mm-hmm,
finding, more people and kind of converting that to sales, I'd say.
uh-huh,
Um, I'd like to think I offer some different skills. So I got yoga, meditation, breath work. I used to work as a PA and now I'm a holistic health coach. So I have a lot of information and knowledge about the body and just health. So that would probably be some of my expertise. And I think most of my audience is pretty health engaged.
mm-hmm.
So I have, that kind of to offer, like that type of audience connection that you had kind of mentioned. And I would say honesty is a really big value of mine, and transparency. I think that's really important going into it to make sure that we're fully aligned, knowing that, what I want out of it is aligned with what the other, person, partner, company wants out of it. Um, and collaboration, like wanting to really feel like, we're working towards the same goal. We're not working against each other, or making sure that we're both equally benefiting and not one person's kind of getting the short end of the stick, I'd say.
Okay. Do you have any company in mind that you think would be perfect, but you may be a little scared
I
to
mean,
reach out to?
I feel like, this is kind of going back on like the not feeling ready yet, but one of my goals is I would love to eventually partner with Lululemon. I think that would be really cool. So that's like one of my dream, partnerships, collaborations.
Awesome. So what I want you to do to redo that list that you just told us and tailor it to Lululemon.
Okay.
And then right, you can also message me. I don't want to put you on the spot like this right now, but you can also message me maybe, or we can create a group chat to see the 3 steps that will help you to reach out to them. It's either mindset, specific steps, specific something, because I don't want this workshop just to go like, getting information and do nothing about it. It's specific steps. And that's how especially if it's a mindset, it's always good to have support group. It's always good to have someone who encourage you to do it. And I'm not a naysayer at all. I had so many people tell me, because I'm always think big. I always want to do the big things, but I had, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, so many people telling me, oh no, you are not ready yet. Oh no, maybe don't do it yet, and things like that. And I kind of stop myself sometimes, but sometimes I just go ahead and just did it. So I'm always knowing that I'm always encouraging people. If you have a Lululemon in your head, that means you have already everything to have this partnership. If you didn't have, you would have a completely different brand, because this is how alignment works also. The energy, everything we have in our heads, it's already possible. It's another, it's a possibility there. So the only thing is how we approach it, especially the mindset, because probably tools you already have it. The mindset is the most important part. So write down specifically that list, and that's how I say yes. Sometimes like, oh yes, I'm cool and cool, but when you start thinking about specific one brand or specific something, you're like, oh my god, do I have it? Actually, I don't know. Am I ready? I don't know, but actually you are.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah. Awesome. Okay, so, and I encourage everybody else. You can, depends on where you are right now. If you feel like, and I'm telling that to people who might watch us online as well. If you feel like especially if you're a person who haven't partnered at all, just do it, as it is. If you already do partnerships, but there is something that you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm ready yet, do this list and this exercise specifically for that brand, and think about the values and the skills that you bring to that brand that they might not have. It might not be something specifically what you do, especially, for example, let's say Rachel with yoga. It might be your approach in yoga. It might be your personality that would work for that brand and they don't have it yet. Dig very deep. What are the uniqueness of you to stand out? Because it is what it is. There are so many experts, and that's how I started. We have to stand out. We have to be memorable. How we do it, we don't have to do anything crazy. We just need to be ourselves and get out the jumps in ourselves. It could be, yes, we all have one specific trait that we have, and then there are the qualities, the characteristics of us that makes us so unique and actually make the partnerships completely different. So that's it. That's how it looks so easy, right? The exercise looks so easy to do. But when you start thinking, it's actually not that easy. So when we go to the next slide, I put some ideas on how could actually any partnership could look like, because it's not only partner like on a big scale. It could be very different, especially if it works for visibility, even sales. So what it is you could be, I did a lot of also Instagram lives posts. I did a lot of Instagram activations and stories. I'm like so creative with different things, like doing what I like to do with partnerships. It's not not going with the way that's already there, but creating something unique. And it's something interesting. It's something that makes you stand out and make people partner with you. So you can do like the freebies, the event sponsorships, swaps, like we did with summer, we did events as well together. Like this one is another one. And we did one in person, another one online. There could be, it could be so many different ways. The pop-up experience branding workshops, which we could consider probably referral collaborations. There are so many also websites. I think Shopify, because I do services as well. I have services and products like Shopify, for example, their referral links. Kajabi also has referral links. And we can create it in a very cool, nice way, how you can refer, like you get this, and this is my partners, this is something can help you as well. There are so many different ways that you can work with, service bundles that you can send on emails. I also did collaborations, and you can do, sometimes you can do with big brands, sometimes you can do with someone like with the similar audiences, different brands. Like you can create a group of women, business owners, and you can do emails, you can do Instagram lives, you can do so many different things like panels to partner just to exchange this audiences, because everybody has so different personalities, and we can get attracted to completely different things. So that's also a good thing to do. And then I placed some of my, I think my favorite on the next slide, some of my favorite partnerships that I had. Very, I would consider them creative because it wasn't something like that. I did a jewelry pop-up shops with rooftops and restaurants. So what it is, because I need my jewelry, for example, it's fashion plus psychology, so I need specific audience. Markets don't really work for me because I am more like, I need a niche people and someone who is like business owners, someone who is more mindful. So I was looking for places who have my audience there, but it's not like I can just put a table in front, like in the middle of a restaurant or rooftop. What I did was I created a whole experiences with raffles. So people would get drinks, bring the tickets, and we would raffle my jewelry. And I was selling a lot of jewelry like that as well. This is one of the coolest things that I've done. And it was so fun for people and the restaurants and the rooftops. So like, oh my God, like it's actually, even though it's adults, but I think the gamification, the win, the prize, and all of that, it makes it so interesting. And then workshops with Athleta. Actually, I did partner with Athleta, not Lululemon, but Athleta was also cool. What they needed, they also needed to bring people to the store. I did workshops for them. I did mindset workshops. I did like, it was years ago. So I did like moon rituals at that time, like meditations, and I did jewelry workshops for children. Because that specific Athleta store was in the neighborhood with a lot of, stay-at-home moms. And of course, what happens when they go to shop, they need to something to do with for their children. So I would do workshops with them while they were shopping in Atlanta. So that's a cool kind of also like, so it works for me, it works for Atlanta. And this was a completely like, it was a very interesting approach. And this is how you dig a little deeper. You kind of learn the needs, the deep needs, how you can help people. Another one, what I do is like I have femininity in business, and that's how I work with women business like organizations. Because my topic is very unique, I bring something different, so I do a lot of workshops on that. And Instagram stories activation, this is my favorite stuff. It could be interviews, it could be some fun like story kind of movie kind of stuff that I love to do. So there's so many cool things that we can do. We can partner on people with people and brands. And on that note, I want you, we don't have time right now, but what we can do, think of 3 creative ways. Like Rachel, now we know Lululemon, so you have a lot of work to do. Do that exercise and then think of the creative ways that you can do. So when you offer, when you start approaching and you stand out, your offer stands out and like, oh my God, this is cool. And Summer and Patty also, you can think about stuff like that as well. And if you would like to brainstorm, on the next slide, I put all my information that how you can reach me. And I offer a call, 15-minute call if you need any brainstorming, if you have any questions from these workshops or about the partnerships in general, because I do partnerships, event partnerships, I do collaborations, I do consultations on that. I do so many different things. I work completely different ways. And I know it might sound a lot, but it's actually evolved throughout the years with all my experience. And that's how I've been on every side of every side of that, I think. So that's how I can see how it can work or what to look out for as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm looking forward to see and connect with you. And I think I'll give it to Summer.
Hi, sorry, I was trying to like stop sharing. Still figuring it out. Thank you so much, Irina. There were a lot of ideas in there that I'm already like thinking. I was like writing stuff down while you were talking. So thank you for sharing this experience or your experience with us. Um, and like she mentioned, if you guys would like to get in contact with her, there's that information she has on the workbook, which you have the link for. I will also send a recap email so you have all that information as well, and the recording of this session. And if you do have anything that you'd like to present as a workshop, we're always open to ideas. We love to have space for women from all different backgrounds doing all sorts of workshops. We really want this to be a robust series of things. But thank you so much for joining. But thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Go build your partnerships. And if you guys are local to the area and you'd like to check out one of our networking events, we do them in Fort Lauderdale, some in Wilton Manors. We do them twice a month. So if you would like to come check them out, let me know. Have a great day.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye.